Hey Brody, good work on your paper so far here. It makes sense to use blocking as a way to stop cyberbullying. It's always good when you can give the victim control and power. The LinkedIn example really helps me to understand what you're talking about there. It seems kind of obvious to me that blocking wouldn't violate the First Amendment, but if anybody argues that it does, then it's worth covering that ground. So, nice. Next steps. I'm wondering if it would make a lot more sense to talk about either gaming or social media for harassment, cyberbullying, because it seems to me like they're two very different sorts of arenas, and that what makes sense to try to block cyberbullying in one is not really the same thing as what would make sense in the other. So consider that for your final paper, maybe even action 2. And then you kind of just talk about blocking someone as if that's obvious to everyone, which it mostly is, but how about if you spell out a little bit more of what that means? So if I know correctly, which I may or may not, it just means that I can decide I never want to see what so-and-so sends or posts or anything, so I just put up a thing in my account so that I never see that person's stuff. And it's just a one person at a time sort of deal. So just spell that out and explain it to the ordinary person who might be a little less computer literate. I don't understand, as a non-gamer, how blocking could possibly work on a gaming site. Does it mean, because sometimes there's games, right, where multiple people are playing at once, does it mean that when I'm on, that person won't be allowed into the same game? How does that work? I just don't understand that. Here's a problem, though. Isn't part of it the issue of what the bully says to other people about me, which I probably can't control, and blocking is not necessarily going to help. So in the case of with the Sally and the LinkedIn thing, would Sally being able to block the ex-boyfriend even work? Because if he keeps sending other people to get in touch with her, she's not going to be blocking everyone, right? So I don't understand how that works. That example kind of confused me as to how this all happens. And let's see what's my next question for you. What sites do not offer blocking that need to? You name some that do. You name one that didn't. I assume that now LinkedIn does. So what do you have in mind there? And do we have evidence that there's a lot of cyberbullying problems that blocking could help? You kind of toss a whole bunch of stuff into that first big paragraph, including, well, teenagers see this as effective. Why you put that in with the LinkedIn thing, and the other stuff was a little confusing to me. So, our topic sentence would help on page 1, 2 here. Just writing that down for you, because it's kind of disorganized right now. Yeah, so what evidence do we have that cyberbullying could be helped by blocking, or hindered by blocking? And why would anyone think that this is a First Amendment violation? If you get specific quotations from people who really think that, then we need to see those. And if not, then just drop that one. Now, what would the law look like? Are they going to require everyone to get the blocking feature set up by a certain date? And what would happen if they didn't provide this service? Who's going to enforce it? How are they going to enforce it? Those are pretty big questions here. And enforcement usually requires some money. Where's that going to come from, too? All right. So, Brody, good getting going here. And let's take a look. Yeah. So you've got full writing on this one. Let me know if you have questions.